Shakespeare Stout clone. It's me, Wally. Pretty good stuff. Tuesday night. Tomorrow is Homebrew Wednesday. Wednesday. All right, I'm gonna make this quick. I got some video footage to show you guys, and just kind of move on, talk a little bit, talk about a few things, show a few things, and we'll move on. So you guys don't have to look at me all night. Peace, guys. So what is going on? Well, I did a simulated brew day Sunday afternoon, late afternoon, and so everything works great. Panel was running for an hour, over an hour. I was boiling here, right there, in the boil kettle, and I had my hot liquor tank running. So I simulated a mash, 150 degrees, held that for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. I boiled for an hour. Then 25 minutes left in the boil, I went ahead and I cranked up my hot liquor tank to mash out temperature. So it took about 15 minutes to go from 150 to 168, 170, sorry. And that's without any grains in it, so that's kind of ballpark. So I know my boil off now. My boil off's about 1.5 gallons in 60 minutes. So, yeah, one thing, I've got a condensation issue. The hood's just not adequate. You can see there's quite a bit of pot on the outside of the hood, but still that area there that's open in the hood, I think if that hood was directly over top of the boil kettle, I still think I'd have the same issue. So I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to go ahead and build myself a condensation hood. I got a fan, got some aluminum sheet. I'm probably going to get some lumber to make some frame out of that, and get some J-channel, some vinyl siding J-channel to make the drip edge around the side, so I can kind of manipulate it so it all drains to one corner, so I can drain it all to the sink. So yeah. So, and one thing I did today, my dip tubes, both of them are the same. Well, the same as you can get when you're freehanding. But anyway, these were square here, right? This edge came over and came down, so I cut an angle, cut a taper on it, so it gets closer to the bottom of the hot liquor tank or boil kettle, depending on which one I want to put it into, because I've got about 0.5 gallon of liquid that gets left in the bottom of the kettles, and I don't want that. I want less than that. A couple cups, that's fine with me, but 0.5 gallon's a little more than I want, and that was because, I'll demonstrate here, as it's sitting there, the water level, once it gets to the tip right here, it starts sucking a lot of air, and so it breaks the siphon. So this is 1/2 inch OD, this is 5/8 OD. You can see the difference in the size of the tubes, right? Big stuff. So now this I've got installed in my boil kettle. I'll show you what it is, but you can imagine I got a bunch of shit on my table here. Bottom, just a bottom of the tank, right? So it's going to be sitting there like this. So then that'll be open, so it can pull more volume from the bottom, and it shouldn't really affect the flow too much. One thing I did during this simulated brew day, the pump, my wort pump, was acting up, and so I rebuilt it. New impeller, new thrush washers. I didn't replace the O-ring. It's not leaking. I just didn't fuck with it. But anyway, then I burned the inside of my forearm, inside this forearm, right in there, because I opened up, it was right before it started boiling on the boil pot, right? So I'm changing that, and I can hear it boiling on the side of my head, right out of my ear. So I look up at my PID, and it's up over 210. So I just grabbed the lid and opened it up, and all that steam just hit me in the arm. I was like, "Oh, that's hot. That's hot." Not a big deal. I'm tough. I think I'm tough. But yeah, so everything went as planned. I've got, you can see back there, I've got all my new hoses cut. I've got one old hose hanging around, and I've got a long older hose hanging around that I use to sparge with. So right now I think I've got everything I'm ready to go. We got yeast. I bought 2 packs of USO5, and that'll be for the IPA. And I bought 2 smack packs of the Y-Yeast Bohemian Lager yeast. So I'm going to do a lager. Don't really know what specific style lager it is. It's going to be a pretty simple grist. It's I've got 10 pounds of Bohemian Pills, and I'm going to add to that. It's going to be just a pound of the Breeze Copper Malt. So then I'm going to do Galena. It's going to be all Galena hops. It's going to be Galena at 60, Galena at 15, then a big whirlpool of Galena for about 25, 26 IBU. So it's going to be a light color. I think the SRM on that's going to be 6-ish. I think it is. It shouldn't be very much. It shouldn't be very dark at all. So yeah, in the grain bill, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in some flaked oats into that lager. Then the IPA that I'm gonna try to throw down Sunday is just gonna be 2-row, pound of copper malt. No, 2 pounds of copper malt, and that's gonna be it. Flaked oats. That's the grist, and it's gonna be a shit ton of Citra, some Mosaic, Azacca, various times. So yeah, it's gonna be fermented out with USO5. So once I get that fermented out, I'll take it out of my fermentation chamber. Then once I brew the lager, I can throw it in there, keep it around 55 or so degrees, whatever I'm gonna ferment at. Then I can gradually raise that to diacetyl rest, then crash it again before I keg it. So it should be about a 5% beer, 5.5% beer, depending on efficiency. So it'd be a nice drinker. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Should be pretty good. So yeah, and the IPA should be about 7-ish, 7.5-ish max, depending on my efficiency, right? So it's not going to be a big imperial beer, but I've been drinking a lot of IPAs lately that have been 7, verging on that imperial 7.5%. This dude's clocking in a little over 5%. So anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna throw some video in at the end. I'll show you what this dip tube looks like in the boil kettle. And yeah, well, let me pause this. Hey, it's me. So I don't know if you guys can really see it, but you can see the taper I've got on that. So it really sits a lot. I mean, I can barely get my finger underneath of that. So that's going to be good. So yeah, I got a lot of crap from the water when I was boiling on that. So yeah, that's what you're seeing on the element. But anyway, alright guys. Yeah. Oh yeah, mister. We are locked and loaded. I gotta put that dip tube back down in there. But anyway, I gotta do some house clean up these wires and organize everything. But yeah, that's it, guys. Let's show you guys some clips. Alright guys, I got 13 gallons recirculating there, down through here, through the pump, and back in. Then I've got Herm's coil going. So it's coming out the bottom of the HLT into that pump. Bottom of the Hermes coil back out, then in, and I've got 9 gallons here, and that's about 200 degrees right now, so I'm gonna be getting to a boil here pretty soon. But yeah, I'm going through the paces, doing a simulated brew day today. So everything's going. I got just 37 minutes left in the boil, the test boil, and right now it's holding right at 150 degrees for the mash temperature. It's just water in it, so there's no grains, but it's boiling right along at 80% at 207, 209 degrees. So everything's going. Right now I've only got one burner going. Well, it's still, I'm not getting any higher than about 25 amps. So really, I'm doing good. Got both pumps working. I rebuilt that one real quick. I put a new impeller and thrust washers on it, and that thing's not missing a beat now. It was really working like shit beforehand, but yeah, I think I fixed it. But I got that issue, so I need to get a fan to blow across that. We'll see what happens, because that's not centered up over the hood, under the hood, so we'll see what happens. But I'm still pretty skeptical about that even being enough. Looks like I've got a hood construction project coming. Right, so right now I'm just under half an hour left in the boil, so I'm going to do a simulated mash out. So I've got my temp for my hot liquor tank set at 170. So it's already raised the hot liquor tank water 4 degrees. The mash temp's up 1 degree. So let's see what happens. Yeah, you can see that's about max. That's about max amps that I'm using. So yeah, pretty happy with that.